I want to thank y'all for coming and taking time out of your busy school schedules. This is just a follow-up to our phone calls that we've had throughout the time. House Bill 897 is really important to anybody, but LISD feels like we do need to get on board with this. Your first handout is the actual House bill that was approved in 2014. It states that any student from grade 7 through 12 needs to be shown CPR, the psychomotor skills. They don't have to do the ventilations or the breaths. And in this bill it says who can help with this. So it can be the EMS, paramedics, police officers, firefighters, anybody that's been trained in CPR, whether it's American Heart Association or American Red Cross can help with this. All the school nurses, athletic trainers are all CPR instructors, so I may be able to use them also with this process here. We, this year, are going to actually do all our high school seniors and then pick up the rest as we go next year. The second handout is the plan that we've talked about. Essentially, I will provide all the mannequins. LISD has like 135 mannequins, so nobody's going to have to bring anything except your students. And then we'll use whatever school's gym to set everything up. The students will watch, it's your third handout, a PowerPoint presentation. It's a little dry, but it's okay. It just says why they're here, because they have to comply with the House Bill 897. And why do you have to do it? Because the Texas law says so, that all seniors have to be shown CPR at least one time before graduation. And then the next page is just some statistical information. It says that more than 350,000 people suffer out of hospital cardiac arrest. And so we want to get those numbers out to the students to let them know that, you know, one person helping really can save a life. If somebody intervenes, it says you can double or triple a victim's chance of survival. So hopefully they'll understand that. Then just briefly on there, they get to see the steps. You're going to watch a video. The video that this committee chose is Be the Beat. It's about a group of kids on a baseball field. One of the students falls down. Nobody knows what's going on. Another student responds and does the steps that we're going to have our students here do. And then there's questions throughout the whole video. Aren't you supposed to start breathing form, and how do you know how to do this? So it's kind of a conversational type video. Then after they watch the video, the students are going to go to the mannequin stations, and I'll talk about the layout of the gym in just a minute. Then what are they going to be asked to do? As soon as they see somebody collapse, they're going to be asked to say, call 911. That's what we want everybody to know. First off, call 911. Get down on the floor and start your compressions hard and fast. They know that they're supposed to do it 2 inches into the chest, and it's 45 seconds. Gosh, sorry about that. And just reiterate that CPR can and does save lives. When they're doing the compressions, we just want to encourage them hard, deep compressions. When some of the principals were trying to see if they could do this, they had the seesaw effect of their elbows, and it was like, well, you're not doing a whole lot. They're very big, tall gentlemen, but they weren't getting down the 2 inches. So when your students, if you're allowed to help us here, we just need to encourage stiff arms and put your hands down, and you don't lock your fingers underneath. You kind of just push down that way. Some of the principals were trying to lock them down, and then they were wondering why their fingers were hurting, because it's like not the proper way. The next step is just reiterating you can make a difference. Early recognition, calling 911, starting CPR, and then letting the professionals come in. 90% of the people who suffer out of cardiac arrest die. So 70% of out-of-hospital cardiac arrest happen in our homes, residential areas. So the sooner we can help them and get people educated about at least starting compressions, the better off we are. So once the students are finished, then they're going to be dismissed back to class. Does this make sense, this flow? Okay, good. Sometimes when you're in the process of making plans, you're so embedded in it and you don't know if it really makes a good sense or not. The fourth handout that you have is the actual article that supported and got House Bill 897 started. It was sponsored by the American Heart Association. There was a gentleman walking in the neighborhood, and a young man saw him collapse and started CPR on him. This child was 15 years old. He knew what to do, and he did revive the gentleman. So it's just to reinforce that CPR can save lives. And the gentleman did start the breast, but the main point was the compressions help more than anything. Then the fifth handout that you have is just from the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation in support of House Bill 897. It's just brief and simple for you with there. I'll go over what we think we're going to do at each gym. The principals assured me that the counselors or somebody will actually be there to check the students in, so we'll have a current roster. So the students will check in. They're going to enter in through the gym, go into the bleachers. The principal or myself or somebody else will start the presentation. They'll look at the video, they'll look at the PowerPoint first, and then they'll look at the video. See if there's any questions. I'm sure there won't be, but you know, there might be somebody. Students that are actually CPR certified don't have to go back through this. Then the students will be released down through here. These clumps here will be 4 mannequins, and we're going to want a volunteer at each section there. We'll have a metronome hooked up, and it'll actually give the beat so the students can get in rhythm and understand what the beat is. Once they're finished, you dismiss them, and they'll go outside the back there. Does that seem like a decent flow? Anybody else would want any changes there? Okay.
I think it was very organized.
We hope so. I have some dates. Let's see if anybody can help. I know clinicals are very important, and I know you have to work around those, and I do greatly appreciate that. The first date is going to be April the 11th, and it's at Lubbock High School. There's 518 students there. It's a Friday.
Okay.
Becky, how many do you think you might be able to give?
I think probably 18 to 20.
Okay.
And then I'll come as well.
Okay. And Evan at South Plains?
I can give out 10.
Okay, great. Thank you. Trish for Covenant?
You're about the same, about 10.
Okay, perfect. So that's anywhere from 38 to 40 volunteers. Oh, that will be wonderful. And I'll try to, our nursing students there, and then I'll try to get my students that are already CPR, they can actually help check off too. At Coronado, the next date is the following Monday. It is April the 14th, and there's 545 students there. Becky, how many do you think Tech might be able to bring?
I think the same.
Okay. And Evan?
We can get 10.
Okay, great. And Trish?
Yeah, put me down for 10.
Super. That'll be great there. The next day is Monterey. It's a Friday, so it's the following Friday. It's April the 18th. There's 522 students there. So all the classes are about the same size. But it is the Friday before spring break for LISD. So just to let you forewarn you, it might be the same for the colleges. Becky, how many do you think you can bring?
I'm gonna say the same, but I'll put out a list,
Okay.
email, and then I'll get definite sign up for
Okay.
that one.
Great. Evan?
Probably a little less than 10, seeing
Okay.
as it's spring break.
Okay. And Trish?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop mine back to about 8 since
Okay.
they'll
Sure.
be wanting to go home.
I understand. The next one will be April the 28th, and it is Estacado. And there's approximately 300 students there that we'll need to do. So it's a smaller high school. It's a Monday. And Becky, how many do you think you can bring?
The same.
Okay. Evan?
We can get 10.
Great. And
Yeah,
Trish?
10.
Super. The last one that I have on the schedule so far is Matthews Alternative School. Our pregnant moms are there, and the fathers of the babies can be there. And then once moms deliver, they can actually be at that high school also. And there's only 102 students there. We may have to change the way we ask the mothers. We may not have them down on the floor. They may be too far along in their pregnancy. So we'll adapt to tabletops or whatever's the best
and
for
what
them.
date did you have for Matthews?
It is April the 31st, and it's a Thursday. Trish, how many do you think you can bring?
Yeah, I'll get you 10.
Okay. Evan?
We can get you 10.
Great. And Becky?
I'll go ahead and say the same.
Okay. Great. Is there a question?
A time for this. What
Oh.
time of the day are
Thank you
gonna
very
do it?
much. We're going to do, the actual session will be at 10:45, and that's at third period for the students. I would like your students here anywhere from 10 to 10:15 if at all possible. That way they can help me set up the mannequins and then put the mannequins back in the bags. There's 4 mannequins per bag. Facilities will actually bring them to the campuses, but getting them out is kind of a chore sometimes. The last school, I don't have a date and time yet. It is Talkington's Young Women, and the principal I know wants to do 9th through 12th grade. But I think there'll be anywhere from 50 to 75 students at the most. If and when I get the date from them, I'll call each one of you and let you know when the date is and see if you're available.
Okay.
This makes sense. Is there anything that y'all need from me since you're doing your students, allowing them to be here? Do you need a certificate or how many hours they were here?
No, we have them do a sign in, and they have to reflect on it. And so, but we do a complete background check prior to nursing school. But I know in the past you've had us, when we come, go ahead and do the volunteer sign in. So you want them to go ahead and do that again?
Yes, please,
Okay.
if at all possible. That way we can get that done and everybody's got their bases covered there.
Okay.
So everybody's got my office number.
Mhm.
If they've got questions or if something comes up and the students can't show, will they call me if they're going to not be able to show, or will they just call you and y'all
They'll call
will know
us.
who's supposed to be
They'll
there?
probably have them report to me, and then I'll get with you,
Okay, that sounds great there.
because I want to know for sure.
Sure.
Mhm.
And so we don't need sign-in sheets. Everybody will be at the first school, which is Lubbock High, between 10 and 10:15 on April the 11th to help set up. And then I don't look for it to take more than 45 minutes at the very most. I hope it'll be done quicker. And then they just help me bag them up, and then they can go back to class or whatever your choices are for there. Any questions, concerns about this?
No, I'm excited to be a part of this.
I appreciate your helps, because I think the more information that we get out to the community and the students know about it, I think it truly will save a life somewhere down the way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your times. I
Mhm.
appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.